Hey, Rabbi Shmuel Pollen here. It's great to have you back with us. This is the Light Unto the Nations show. It's Saturday night in Rockaway, New Jersey. It's the 4th of July. It's Independence Day, and it's also Independence Day for my mentor's father-in-law. He was released from the Soviet prisons on Yud Beis Tammuz, which is today. So we have a unification of the Hasidic holiday and the American holiday. And what a powerful combination that is. We're going to talk today about the stupidest man in the Bible. There's a lot of smart people in the Bible. It's filled with smart people, but there's one stupidest man. And it's definite as to who it is. His name is Yiftach. He's spoken about in the book of Judges, chapter 12. He goes to war against Ammon, and before he goes, he makes a vow that if he returns alive, he will sacrifice the first thing that comes to greet him to God. And he goes to battle Ammon and comes back alive. And the first thing that greets him with flutes and harmony comes his youngest daughter. And now he has to fulfill the vow that he made to sacrifice to God that which came to greet him at that time. And there's a debate among the sages whether he actually sacrificed her or rather he made her an ascetic, somebody who went off onto a mountain to fast all the time and pray all the time and never be with a man, which is basically ruining her life, because that's the mainstay for a Jewish woman, is to have a husband and raise a family. So he ruined her life physically or spiritually. Either way, he was too proud to go to the high priest at the time, where he could have got his vow abrogated. He could have got his vow taken off. And this seems horrific, and we're all horrified by this story. He himself was horrified when he realized that his daughter was the one that was coming to greet him. He tore his clothing, and it all just seems so terrible that one could be so stupid and so proud as to not get a vow removed and to ruin his daughter's life or physically kill her. But the question then is he all that different from us? We call him the stupidest man in the Bible, but maybe there's a little bit of stupidity in us, because a vow is an attachment. And we all get attached to certain things. We get into a fight with our spouse and we get dug in to our specific point of view, to our specific position. We often yell and scream in front of the children, scarring them, even if a little bit, but we're scarring them emotionally when we do that. And we sacrifice them on the altar of our own attachment. We sacrifice our daughter or our son on the altar of our own attachment. And maybe this has a message for us about abortion. Can you imagine how many tears God cries when an unborn child is slaughtered? And I'm not talking about when the mother's life is in danger because of the baby. I'm talking about other cases where the mother is doing it because it just works out better for her. It's more convenient for her. For God's sake, there are people waiting to adopt your baby. Why would you slaughter it? So sometimes it's just for the convenience of the mother. That's her attachment. Her attachment is the convenience, and she's going to sacrifice her child based on her convenience. So if you do that, you're no different from Yiftach. You're doing the exact same thing as Yiftach. People put religion in front of the child, and I know I'm a big proponent of religion, but you can't put it in front of the emotions of the child and force them to do things that they don't want to do. That will just bring them to a hate of religion. So there's a story of the right way and the wrong way to deal with kids. And there's a story of the Alter Rebbe, the one who founded the Hasidic movement of Chabad, and his son, the Mittler Rebbe, and they were both in the Mittler Rebbe was in a room below, and the Alter Rebbe was in a room above, and the Mittler Rebbe's child was in a crib with him, and the child fell out of the crib and started to cry. And the Mittler Rebbe was so engrossed, he was so in another world with his learning, he was like in heaven with his learning, that he didn't even hear the child crying. But the Alter Rebbe, the grandfather of the baby, did hear him cry and came down and picked him up and soothed him back and put him back into the crib until he was all nice again. And then he told his son, the Mittler Rebbe, don't you ever become so engrossed in learning that you don't hear the child's cry, that you don't hear the cry of a child. So when it comes to Yiftach, look in your own backyard. What do we do that puts ourselves in front of children? Nothing should be in front of children. Nothing is more important than our children, even our learning, even our religion. So I hope we'll all take this message to heart. And I wish you a happy 4th of July and a happy Yud Beis Yud Gimel Tammuz. God bless.